Leary saw surfers as the throwaheads of mankind versus the dregs of mankind versus the irresponsible sector of mankind. And he described the highest destiny of man on earth as a form of existence in the universe as evolving towards a purely aesthetic state. That was the goal, the highest possible goal that man could attain as a species. Historically, man had evolved around building city-states on the bluff for protection next to the river, for commerce, and was trying to store more acorns than he needed to eat that day. And the more acorns he could store, the more successful he was as a person. Well, Leary said that was all a false deity, a false reason for living, that really the dance was everything, and that surfers had discovered this before any other tribe on earth, and they were the living example of man to be emulated. He said surfers were the perfect example of be here now, the tube ride in which you're living for that exact instant on the continuum of time where the tube is folding over your head, your wake is disappearing into the back of the wave, your footprints are washed from the sand, that it's totally about being where you are at that instant. It's not about where you're going to be or where you've been, it's about where you are as each instant unfolds. And that surfers live for that, and that they design their lives around having it as much as they can, and that was, in a sense, the highest level of attainment that man can seek in his life on earth. And he also said that if you believed in that, you had to work to make it, to lead man to that goal. You couldn't just lay back and passively let other people carry the challenge and fight for that. You had to actually be a proponent of it and be a firm advocate of it and work hard to try and lead man to that place. And so I began to see mankind as a tribe whose participation in the total social order was to carry that message and to talk about the importance of maintaining the interface between the land and ocean, and helping people to realize that life was not about acquisition of wealth so much as it was about the dance. And once, because of that conversation with Leary, it kind of, a friend of mine coined a term, reified. It kind of reified in me that it was okay to be a surfer and to spend your life seeking the ride and having the ride. And even as I grow older and the way I ride becomes atrophied, as my mind kind of takes over for my body, as my body falls away, the sum total of the effort is still equals 100%. So even as my experience in the water becomes simplified, the joy I get from it and the reward I get from it still is whole and round and fully worth having.